Welcome to another Manic Monday. Today is not really that manic, but it is rather depressing. I had actually been planning on coming on and doing this video today with some great news. And I was all excited. I was really looking forward to it. And then I got some bad news. And it's kind of taken the wind out of my sails. I already had one friend who had just had a triple bypass, and he's doing well. Everybody's been keeping me informed because he's in the United States and I'm here in Germany. But we have mutual friends who have been kind enough, wonderful enough, to keep me updated on his progress. And he's doing well. But then I I noticed something that had been posted on Facebook today, that another friend of ours has passed away. And it's just really kind of a shock. He's much younger than I am, in better health than I am. And I just never even considered that he would end up passing away before me. So it's really hard to be excited about my news now when I'm thinking about him. But him and his wife, I never had the pleasure to meet her yet. I hope to do that whenever we go back to the United States the next time. But yeah, I'm so glad that he had her. The news that I had actually come on to discuss for today was that finally, after more than a year, I finished the first draft of Into the West Family Ties. It has been a real chore for me to do this one. I mean, a lot of my own life things got in the way this last year. I was not feeling the work. It was hard enough just to keep up with the podcast. Whenever I first started the Into the West Saga serial, it was meant to be a practice because I'd had all the brain surgeries, I had lost a lot of my language skills, and I didn't know if I would be able to write well anymore. So this was a practice to see if I could do it. And the first book won a couple of awards, so obviously I could do it. But then, I wanted to finish the story. I wanted to finish the whole story out. But most of the books in this series, whenever I sat down, I just sat down at the computer and wrote them straight from beginning to end, stream of consciousness. Didn't really have to think about it too much. Didn't have to write out a plot. It was all in my head. And it was easy. They were all very, very easy. And then this last book came up and suddenly it was very hard and I couldn't do it. I couldn't keep the storyline straight in my head. Every time I would sit down, it was a chore. It was just really hard and I couldn't figure out. I still don't know why this one was different. But it was. And it was just really hard to finish. But I want to thank Natasha Dean, who is an author I interviewed for my podcast, Book Banter with Diane Burckhardt. Her interview is coming up in a couple of weeks. And she had said that she was, we had talked after we did the interview, and I told her I was struggling with this book that I was trying to finish. Only had 3 chapters left to write, and I had been stuck on those last 3 chapters for quite a while. And she said, okay, well, I'm going to check in with you in a couple of days and see if you finished those, because I expect you to finish those. And she did. She checked in with me. And I had finished a chapter and a half. I still had a chapter and a half to go. But I was closer. And I said, you know what? But I'm going to finish it this weekend. And I told her I would be contacting her again on Monday and letting her know that it was done. It would be done. And I did. It's finished. Now the edits start. I'm going to do my first round of edits later today. I'm going to start reading it from beginning to end and make sure that everything is cohesive. And then I'll do one more edit before I send it off to beta readers. I always put it in a text-to-speech program and listen to it, because it is amazing. If you don't do this when you edit your own books, do it. It is amazing how much you will catch when you are listening to somebody else read your book instead of you reading it, because people tend to read what should be there, not what actually is there. And if you listen to it, you catch so many things that you miss when you do a read-through. So I'm going to be doing the read through hopefully by Thursday, so that Friday I can send it off to my beta readers, who are just my mom and my sister, and they'll be very kind. But they'll also tell me if it doesn't make sense. And they're going to be checking for just continuity to make sure it completes, what the story was from before, and that I didn't miss anything that I should have, brought to a conclusion. And then after they're done with it, I will send it off to my professional editor, who will go through it all. And hopefully it will be all ready to publish by July. And I don't know, maybe if we can get lucky, we can publish it on my mom's birthday, which is in July. And yeah, so that was my good news. The thing that I'm struggling with right now too is I'm trying to decide. I've been talking for so long about wanting to write my FBI thriller, The Touch, as the next book, but I've started wondering if I shouldn't go ahead and do my medical autobiography next, because I want to have it ready to publish in October of 2024. I'd like to try to shop it to some publishers, but I think at this late date, that's really pressing my luck to try and get a publishing house who would accept me and be willing to publish the book by next year, especially from a new, author, because they don't consider self-publishing, most of them, as being an established author. But I don't think I would have the luck to find a publishing house that would want to work with me and get it published in that time. And next year is the 20th anniversary of all of my brain surgeries. And October is when I had the last brain surgery. And I had actually died once before the last brain surgery. And so I really want to release it in October to celebrate that anniversary for me. So if I can't find anybody who shows any interest between now and this October, which I know is pathetically short of notice time, then I'm just going to go ahead and go with self-publishing and not even worry about it. But I'm going to give it a shot anyway. Who knows? Maybe I'll get a miracle. Yeah, so that's it. I'm missing a few friends right now. I'm very happy that I got the text all written for Into the West Family Ties finally. The final book in the Into the West Saga serial. So if you've been reading them, it is going to be published very soon. While the book is with my mom and my sister for their beta read, I'm going to be finalizing the cover and getting that all ready to go. And then that way, whenever my editor sends me the final edits, I can just go in and make the last little changes and get it all loaded up to be published. While I'm waiting, I'm going to do a pre-order on this last book, because here's the thing. If I could sell 25 copies of this book in one day, it would go on the paid bestsellers list on Amazon. So my goal is I want to do a pre-order on this so that when it does release, if I could get 25 orders that would release on that first day, I would have a bestseller. So that would help me like you would not believe, just getting all of my books noticed and getting people to come to my website. It would be a great thing. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put it up for pre-sale. Hopefully things will go well with this launch. I'm going to start advertising a ton before we release it. And yeah, so that's it. And then while I'm waiting between getting the book finished and waiting for the pre-sale to hit, I'm going to be redesigning the covers for all of the other Into the West Saga serial books so that I have a nice cohesive thing that I can actually put in a box set at some point and make sure that everything matches, everything is exactly the same. And yeah, hopefully the redesign of the covers will help get some new attention to the books too. But don't worry, if you already have the books, the final book will come out in two versions, one that's just like all the others that are already out, and then the new version. And yeah, the text will all be the same, so there'll be no reason to rebuy the books. So that's it, I think. I need a nap. Have a great Monday.